We're going to wrap up the semester with chapters 14, 15, and 16. And these guys all tie in together as they look at nutrition through the life cycle. So we're going to start off in chapter 14, looking at pregnancy, nutrition during pregnancy. So we're going to examine the increased nutritional needs of a woman during pregnancy. We talk a little bit about pre-pregnancy and fertility, but really the heart of the chapter is going to hit on nutritional needs during pregnancy and some nutrition-related concerns that can happen during pregnancy. Then we also look at breastfeeding, and so what are the nutritional components of breast milk and why those are important. And we are going to look at well, for chapter 14, we're going to have a set of essay questions and a discussion post that are due. Chapter 15, we get that baby a little bit older, so we're going to look at the eating patterns as it grows. And so we're going to examine one of the stages that can get a little persnickety are preschoolers. And so they can be a little bit of picky eaters. And so we talk about maybe some ways to kind of work along with that. And we look at some nutritional related concerns of preschoolers in particular. And then we also look at adolescents. And sometimes their diets are not always ideal. They start to have freedom in making their own food choices. And also they're growing and they're hungry. And so sometimes they can make poor choices. And so we look at some of those increased nutrient needs of adolescents, particularly your adolescent females. And we also look at obesity, childhood obesity, and look at some of the things that are tied in with that. And we look at our nature versus nurture and kind of examine what might be coming into play in childhood obesity and why it is of concern. And so that's going to be chapter 15, and you're going to have a set of essay questions and a discussion for that. The final chapter of the semester. So you finally made it when you get to chapter 16, and that is going to be nutrition during adulthood. And we're going to really focus on our older adults here. We're going to look at the determine acronym and why that's important. We're going to look at the physiological changes that happen with aging. There are many things that happen with the body as it ages, and those can impact diet and nutrition. So we're going to further examine how those can work together and ways to work around those. And we're also going to look at the increased nutrient needs of the aging population. So that's how we're going to end the course. So we're going to end that looking at those, looking at older adults and their nutrition needs. So the last section of chapters, we're going to be looking at the life cycle nutrition. And for chapter 16, you're going to have a set of essay questions for that, and you'll have a unit discussion, and you'll have test 5, and test 5 will cover those life cycle nutrition chapters, which are going to be 14, 15, and 16. Now, looking a little bit ahead, there will be a cumulative final exam, and that's going to cover material from all 16 chapters that you've covered. And it's going to be set up just like your other tests. So it's going to be multiple choice. It's going to be timed. You can't use any other sources. But hopefully you've been keeping track of either your outlines or you've been taking notes. You've been doing something that's going to make it a lot easier for you to go back and study for that cumulative final exam. So take note of that. And so those dates are going to be in your syllabus. But as for now, you're going to be starting off with chapter 14, looking at pregnancy and lactation and breastfeeding, and then we're going to grow that baby up through starting on solid foods and get it to an infant and an adolescent, and then all the way up through an older adult. So let me know if you have any questions at all. Thanks so much.